A spate of high-profile harassment scandals. More than 300 actresses and directors and writers are teaming up to fight sexual harassment in Hollywood and other workplaces. It's an initiative that's been called now Time's Up. It was announced in a full-page ad in the New York Times. The project described as a unified call for change from women in entertainment for women everywhere. Entertainment and Hollywood journalist Jeanne Wolf is in Los Angeles today. Jeanne, tell us more about Time's Up.
Well, Brad, what's interesting about this is that it's very socially conscious and very socially aware. We've seen actresses, we've seen producers, we've seen famous names with big pocketbooks talking about abuse. And even in Me Too, we've heard from people who were saying, I too was abused and was afraid to speak out. Now, what they're realizing is that this is a problem way bigger than Hollywood, that this has infiltrated for years and years every kind of workplace, every kind of salary earner, every kind of person on a job who's afraid to lose their job, and just as important, afraid if they speak out that they won't be listened to.
So this is going to be the crystallization of the Me Too movement into something that actually has teeth, I suppose, Jeanne, is it? They've also got a legal fund that helps those who report sexual harassment and abuse defend themselves, correct?
Brad, I think you understand it exactly. Now it's action. It's saying, if you have a legitimate complaint, we know that you don't have the skills or the team or the finances to mount your complaint and feel that it will be effective and feel that you can affect change. If you're a factory worker, if you're a farm worker, if you're a secretary, whoever you are, you're going to be given some of the same resources that people who have access, famous names like Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and Steven Spielberg, who have access to masses of networks, masses of people who will listen to them. What they're saying is, we don't want you to just confess what happened to you. We're going to put you in an arena where you can be effective to make change in your life and in your company, and hopefully without jeopardizing your job.
So what do you see happen next, Jeanne?
Well, I think that this is a very wide movement. What I see now is, I applaud the idea of this, but what I see is a lot of fear. People not knowing how to talk to each other, not knowing what the new rules are. You know, it's trite to bring it up, but you know, Brad, were you brought up to open a car door for a woman or to pick up the lunch check? Well, then it came up a point where you thought, oh, I can't do that. That shows that men and women are unequal. It's from silly things to the most serious abuses we can imagine that we have to rethink and rechange. And even with this new movement, it can't happen overnight. But awareness and transparency and a feeling of self-power can make a big difference.
The Time's Up movement. Fascinating stuff and fascinating times we live in. Jeanne Wolf in Los Angeles, thanks very much for walking us through this with us today.
Brad, thanks, and Happy New Year to you.
And to you as well.